People always ask me what it is I do as a linguist, and that's a bit of a hard question because linguists can do quite a lot. They can do field research on rare languages found in remote areas of the world. They can dub a Game of Thrones scene in a language that's over 5,000 years old. And they can also try and argue that Sumerian is actually Tamil and that everyone else except them is wrong. But I'm what is known as a comparative philologist. I analyze the languages of ancient literature and try to establish connections between it and other languages, and in some cases I use my knowledge on how said languages work to try and fill in the gaps that language left behind. Let me show you. This is Old Persian. It's the language of the Achaemenid Empire that was spoken by such prominent figures as Cyrus the Great, Darius, and Xerxes during the 6th century BC. Because of how scantily attested Old Persian is in written documents, there are considerable gaps in the language. For instance, the word for woman, sand, and almost all numbers were just never written down. But because of the fact that I know how Old Persian works, as well as knowing its relationship to other languages like Avestan and Sanskrit, I can reconstruct the gaps and grammatical features of Old Persian that were just never written down. For instance, these are the relative pronouns of Old Persian. Relative pronouns are used in such sentences as the man who killed me, the place where it was done, and in Old Persian as hya amakam dalma, the family which is ours. In this case, the word hya is the relative pronoun. Unfortunately, out of the 21 possible pronouns that Old Persian may have had, only 5 are written down. So how is it possible to figure out the rest? Well, let's first look at how the relative pronoun was first formed in Old Persian. It was a combination of what was once a demonstrative pronoun, so, which means this or that, and an earlier original relative pronoun, yos. And fortunately for us, both of these are widely attested in Old Persian sister languages Avestan and Sanskrit, as ha and ya in Avestan and saha and yaha in Sanskrit. With these attested forms, we can reconstruct what they must have sounded like in Proto-Indo-Iranian, the common ancestor language of Sanskrit, Persian, and Avestan, and then evolve that form with the changes Old Persian underwent from Proto-Indo-Iranian. Let's try reconstructing the dative plural relative pronoun in Old Persian. In Avestan, the demonstrative and relative was diaibyo and nyaibyo respectively. In Sanskrit, it was debyaha and nyebyaha, giving a reconstructed Proto-Indo-Iranian form of daibyhyas and nyaibyhyas. And if we apply the sound changes of Old Persian to these forms, we get daibya, and if we repeat this process again and again, the list of relative pronouns in Old Persian increases from 5 to 21. Cheers! We are currently running from the police. We're getting, oh shit.